Hey guys and gals, this is Radar Roy, and this is part 2 of our video series regarding the use of radar detectors and jammers. In part 1 of our video series, we discussed the laws applicable to the use of radar detectors in your vehicles. In this particular video, we're going to discuss laws specific to jamming. Now, before I begin in discussing some of these laws, I need to make you aware that police basically use two devices that emit either light or RF to detect your speed. The first device you're probably most familiar with, and that is radar. Radar is using radio frequency, or they're sending out radio waves on a microwave frequency to measure the speed of your vehicle. Now, laser does not use radio frequency. They use light, and it's a very thin light beam that basically comes out from their laser gun and would reflect upon your car and come back to the officer. Laser jammers do not jam radar. Radar jammers don't jam laser. So with that, we'll kind of go through the various types of jammers that are out there so you're aware of them. Let's first talk about radar jamming. Radar jamming is regulated by the Federal Communications Commission. If you are jamming radar, you're subject to having a fine of over $50,000 and looking at spending 5 years in prison. It's illegal. Don't do it. You can get yourself in very, very deep trouble. Now, in my 20-year career in law enforcement and over 13 years of being in the speed counter measurement industry, I've only ever found one particular company or individual, I should say, that actually made a active radar jammer that actually worked. And that radar jammer was first initially called the Phantom RCD, and that was sold from basically around mid-1990s up to early 2000s. And because another company, Rocky Mountain Radar, started calling some of their names the Phantom, riding on the coattails of the success of this company, Phantom RCD then changed their name to the Scorpion. Now, we've tested these devices. They were, when you first purchase them, they were very, very effective at jamming police radar, but there were some problems. One of the big problems was that these devices had a tendency to fall out of frequency or become uncalibrated. Now, that would be all well and good. You're thinking you have a radar jammer sitting here up on your dashboard and you're jamming radar, and in a few months the unit falls out of calibration and you're pulled over. And that's really the only way you'd find out if your unit was still in calibration, unless you had literally thousands and thousands of dollars of radio frequency devices that could scan and calibrate your device. So there was a very significant problem with these units falling out of calibration. Also, the latter units, there was the Scorpion Plus RCD. They implemented the jamming of Ka band. Now, these devices became larger and larger. In fact, they almost look like 2 or 3 little bread boxes on top of your dashboard if you put them up on your dashboard because of the size. So that was another problem with the overall size. You still might find some of these sold on eBay, or some private individuals might still have these. I really suggest against purchasing these for the mere fact, well, number one, they're illegal. You could go to jail, and number two, chances are they're out of calibration, and unless you have very complicated RF equipment, you're not going to be able to get these calibrated, and you're going to be jamming not only police radar but practically everything else out there in the spectrum. Now, some of you might be watching this and say, well, how about all these scramblers that are sold by a company called Rocky Mountain Radar? They advertise that their units scramble or jam police radar. Well, in my over 32 years in this industry, I've never found one of their devices I work as advertised. In fact, we have a website specific to this. It's called radarjammer.com. And on this website, I do offer a $50,000 reward for anyone that could show me a Rocky Mountain Radar scrambler jammer that actually works as advertised. Now let's discuss some of the laws applicable to laser jamming. As laser is light, it is not regulated by the FCC, but by the Food and Drug Administration. And currently there are no laws prohibiting the use of laser jamming devices federally in your personal passenger car. However, there are laws regarding the certification of these laser devices by the FDA. Any laser light emitting devices must be certified for sale or use by the Food and Drug Administration. Now, let's kind of discuss some of the laws specific with the states regarding the use and operation of laser jamming devices. Currently, there are 9 states that outlaw laser jamming, and I'm just going to kind of read from my list right here so I don't miss any of them. And I want to thank the guys at LiDAR for making this really great map that I'm referring to. Laser jamming is illegal in the District of Columbia, in the states of Utah, California, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Illinois, Tennessee, Virginia, South Carolina, and Washington, D.C. Now perhaps you're asking yourself, well, do police have devices that can detect if I'm using a laser jammer, such as the Spectrate that they use in radar detectors? Not really. Some laser jammers do emit a jamming code, and that can be picked up on some laser guns. But what you really need to concern yourself with, if you have a laser jammer and the officer knows you're speeding and you just kind of go by him without him getting any reading, he's going to kind of suspect that you have a laser gun, or a laser jammer, if you're in any of these states that they're outlawed. So what I suggest, if you have a laser jammer, and this is true in even states that they are legal, is if your laser jammer goes off, slow down and turn your laser jammer off. That way an officer can get a reading on your vehicle. It's not unusual for an officer attempting to target your vehicle with a laser gun for there to be some sort of time lapse, because there's some things that will can impact the officer getting a reading on your particular car. First off is whatever the ambient sunlight is out there. What is the sunlight? What are some other factors? The reflectivity of your particular vehicle. Dark cars are harder to get a reading on than white cars. White reflects better than black. Now, there is a coating that is available that you can apply to your vehicle, specifically to the headlights and your license plates, that does reduce the reflectivity of those particular areas, and that is called the veil. The veil is very effective in reducing your laser sensitivity. It's not the cloak of invisibility, though. It's going to buy you a little bit of time. So it reduces what we commonly call the jam to gun ratio. It's going to give you a little more time to react to the police laser gun if you are being shot. And if you only have a radar detector, you might be able to detect the police radar before the officer can, or police laser, before the officer can actually track your speed. But again, the best enforcement device for laser is a laser jammer. Now, the veil is legal in all 50 states. It's not illegal for you to apply it. All it is a coating. We have a video on radarroy.com that explains how the veil is applied. So if you're interested in more information about the veil, go over there and check that out. I hope you find this video and the other videos that we're doing helpful in answering many of your questions. And if you folks have any particular questions that are not addressed in this particular video, I encourage you to go to my blog at www.radarroy.com or to my buyer's guide at radarroysbuyersguide.com. And those of you that sign up for my buyer's guide, there's a special gift for you. If you're in the market for any speed countermeasurement device, we have a gift card there that will give you 10% off on your next purchase of a radar detector, laser jammer, or whatever that might be. Hey guys and gals, I want to thank you for watching. This is Radar Roy. You have a great day. Bye-bye.